season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate creative leagues, and what if tournament. It's Coffee Cup Games with the coach, DKM. Hey, this is Coach DK with Coffee Cup Games. Hope you guys are having a good one. We are continuing our March Madness tournament with the greatest 68 World Series champions based on their winning percentage. So far, we've completed 10 games and only 3 of them have been decided by more than one run. We've had several extra inning games and 9th inning comebacks. And we are going to continue today in the Ash bracket where we have the number 3 seed going against the number 14 seed. And today's matchup is quite a unique one of the games that I was most looking forward to from the bracket. We had the 1904 New York Giants who won 106 games and lost only 47 going against the 1995 Atlanta Braves who won 90 games and only lost 54. The Atlanta Braves during the 1990s was one of the most dominant teams in Major League Baseball. Between 1991 and 2005, they won 14 of 15 National League East titles. The only year they didn't win was in 1994 when the season was shortened by 50 games because of a strike. During the 1990s, they made it to 5 World Series, and unfortunately, they only won one, which was in 1995. The Braves were led by their starting pitching. They had 3 Hall of Fame pitchers who won 6 Cy Young Awards during the 1990s. Out of all the teams with a low seed, this is the one team that I believe could make it very far in this tournament. The 1904 New York Giants is the first team that we have in our tournament who did not actually play in the World Series because there was no World Series played. The Giants owner, John T. Brush, refused to allow his Giants to play in a World Series against the Boston Americans from the American League because of Brush's bitter rivalry with the Americans owner, Ban Johnson. The Giants had one of the greatest seasons in Major League Baseball history in winning percentage, primarily because they were led by 2 amazing Hall of Fame pitchers, Joe McKinney and Christy Mathewson. The Giants refusing to play in the World Series, though, led to public backlash, and the next year the Giants were in the World Series, as the World Series became required by both the National League and the American League, and became a permanent fixture in Major League Baseball history. So now let's check out the lineups for both the 1995 Atlanta Braves and the 1904 New York Giants. For the 1995 Atlanta Braves, they're going to have Grissom, the center fielder, leading them off. Blauser, the shortstop's batting second. Chipper Jones, the third base, will be batting third. And Fred McGriff, the first baseman, will be in the cleanup spot. David Justice, the right fielder, will be in right field. Ryan Klesko, the left fielder, will be batting sixth. Javi Lopez, the catcher, will be batting seventh. Lemke, the second baseman, will be batting eighth. And on the mound will be Greg Maddux. For the New York Giants of 1904, they're going to have Devlin, the third baseman, leading them off. Dahlin, the shortstop's batting second. McGann, the first baseman, is going to be batting third. Bresnahan, the center fielder, is going to be batting fourth. Brown, the right fielder, is going to be batting fifth. Mertz, the left fielder, is going to be batting sixth. Gilbert, the second baseman, is batting seventh. Warner, the catcher, is going to be batting eighth. And on the mound, they're going to be sending up Joe McKinney, who will be batting ninth. So there's the starting lineups. Now let's jump into the action between the 1995 Atlanta Braves and the 1904 New York Giants. But of course, before we do, I'm going to ask you guys to take a quick moment, hit the thumbs up, and like the video. I really would appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do that now. And of course, feel free to leave any comments, questions, or snide remarks in the comment section down below. So let's go into the game between the 1995 Atlanta Braves, who I will be managing, going against the 1904 New York Giants, the number 3 seed in the Ash bracket. Here we are at Oracle Park in San Francisco as we are using the franchise's 2023 ballpark. And even though the New York Giants were obviously in New York, they ended up becoming the San Francisco Giants after they moved in the 1950s. So we will be in San Francisco. Joe McKinney on the mound. Grissom, the center fielder, is going to be leading us off. The center fielder hit .258 with 12 home runs. He needs a 1-12 on the pitcher's card. It's going to be a roll of an 11. So that is going to be a single. So he is on base. He has a 70% chance if he can get a good lead to steal. He cannot if they're able to keep him close, so it goes down to 35%. So now Blauser, the shortstop's up. He only hit .211 with 12 home runs. So obviously didn't have a very good year. So we're going to still let him swing away, and he needs a 1-10 for a home run, and it's going to be an 11. So unfortunately, that is going to stay in the ballpark as it hits off the top of the wall. Bresnahan has a 0 for an arm. The man on first can try to score. He has a 1 to 16 chance to score. We're going to send him. We are not going to send the trailing runner. We will hold him at second base. Here's the throw home. Safe! And he's safe at home as we need a 1 to 16. It was a 4, so we get a quick lead with a double off the top of the wall that just missed being a home run. And now Chipper Jones is up. The third baseman hit .265 with 23 home runs. The switch hitter is going to be batting from the left-hand side going against McGinnity. And he's going to be a ground ball to second base to Gilbert. So that's going to be the first out. Blauser's able to advance to third. And now Fred McGriff is up. He led our team with 27 home runs. We had 4 hitters with over 20 home runs that year. McGriff also hit .280. Here's the pitch, and he needs a 1 to 3 for a double. It's going to be a 16, so it should be deep enough, as that's going to be a sacrifice fly, and Blauser's going to score, and we get up with another run, and now lead 2-0. Now Davis Justice is up. He had 24 home runs. He needs a 1 to 17 for a double. It's going to be a 6. The rest would have been a single, so he's going to get an easy double as he hits this one into right center. And that's going to put him standing on second base with now Ryan Klesko's up. He hit .286 with 23 home runs. And he is going to pull this one down the line in right field. Brown's not able to get there. And so that's going to be another double. And David Justice scores easily. And we have 3 runs already on 4 hits. And now Javi Lopez, the catcher, is up. And they're going to walk him as he hit .315. And they want to go against Lemke, the second baseman, who is only .225 back in '95. And so we'll see if Lemke can knock in a run as we have 2 guys on with 2 down. He's going to hit a ground ball to McGann. That's going to be a ground out.
Ouch! Fatality.
But unfortunately, Lemke's going to be hurt. So we're going to have to find a new second baseman for Lemke. But we did take a quick 3-0 lead in top of the first inning. So let's take a moment and find a replacement for Lemke in this game. Well, we decided to go with Rafael Belliard at second base. Very, very good defensive second baseman. Not very good at all at the plate, especially against right-handers. But with a quick 3-0 lead, we thought he was a better option than Mordecai, who is a much better hitter, but a very poor defensive second baseman. So with Maddox on the mound, we're going to go into the bottom of the first with Devlin up the bat. The third baseman at .281 back in 1904, and he's going to be strikeout. So Maddox with the first strikeout of the game, and now Dowling is up. He at .268. He's going to hit a fly ball to left field to Klesko, and that's going to be 2 down. And now McGann's up, the first baseman at .286. He's going to hit a fly ball to Grissom in center field, and that's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning as we go into the top of the second with Maddox, our pitcher, leading us off as we had 8 batters in the last inning, and Maddox is going to be strikeout. So now Grissom, top of the order, is up to bat. He obviously had a single in the last game, scored the first run, and he is going to draw a walk. So he is on base. We're going to try to see if we can get a good lead. If you can get a good lead, it's going to be a 1-14, and he gets the lead, and
he's out.
He is thrown out at second base by Warner. 1-14, he would have been safe. We rolled in 19, so that's going to be 2 down, and now Blauser's up. He's 1 for 1 with a double, and he's going to hit a line ball to Blauser. We need a 1-7 for a single. It's going to be a 20-die roll of an 11, so that's going to be a unconventional 1-2-3 inning. As we go into the bottom of the second, Bresnahan is up to bat. The center fielder hit .284 with 5 home runs. He's going to hit a ground ball back to Maddox. Maddox has to make a play. He has a range of 2. He makes the play, and he's going to throw it to first to McGriff, and that's going to be 1 down. And now Brown, the right fielder, is up. He's going to hit a fly ball to Klesko, who has a horrible range of 4.
Whoopsies!
And unfortunately, it goes to his E rating of 11, and he's going to drop that ball. And that's going to be an error as Brown gets a 2-base error, ends up on second with 1 down, and now Mertz, the left fielder, is up. He's going to draw a walk, so runners on first and second. Gilbert is up. He at .253, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Blauser. He's going to throw it to Belliard, who's going to throw it over to McGriff for a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play by the Braves. And we're going to go into the top of the third, still leading 3-0. Chipper Jones, the third baseman's up. He's going to hit a ground ball to McGann. That's going to be 1 down. And now McGriff is up. McGriff needs a 1 for a home run on the pitcher's card. It's going to be a 16, so it's not going to be deep enough, even close. And that's going to be 2 down. And now David Justice up. He had a double in the last at bat, and he's going to hit a fly ball opposite field to Mertz. That's a 1-2-3 inning. As we go into the bottom of the third, Maddox going against Warner. The catcher hit 199 back in 1904. And he's going to hit a foul ball that Lopez, the catcher, is going to pull in. That's going to be 1 down. And now the pitcher, McKinney, comes up to bat. Here's the pitch, and he is going to lift one into center field right at Grissom. And that's going to be 2 down. And now Devlin is up to bat. Devlin with a single and the first hit for the game for the Giants. As Devlin's now on first base with 2 down, and now Dolan is up. Devlin can't get a lead, so now we're going to be going against Dolan. He's going to hit a ground ball to Blauser. He's going to throw it to second for the fielder's choice, and that's going to be the end of the inning. So after 3, the Atlanta Braves are winning 3-0. They have 3 runs on 4 hits. They have committed an error. And the New York Giants have 0 runs on only 1 hit. They have not committed an error so far. Top of the 4th, Ryan Klesko leading us off. The left fielder hit .310 with 23 home runs. He had a double in his first at bat, and he's going to hit a ground ball to McGann, and that is going to be
Fatality.
Another injury for us. So now we have our second injury, and we're going to have to replace him at the end of the inning. And now Javi Lopez is up to bat. Lopez is going to hit a fly ball to Mertz into left center field. He has to run and make a play. He has a range of 3. He cannot get to it. So that will be a double by Lopez. And now Belliard is up. Belliard only hit .222. He really does much better against right-handed or left-handed pitchers. And on the pitcher's card, it's going to be a 6-6. So that's going to be a strikeout. And now Greg Maddox is up. He hit .153, and unfortunately for the second time in a row, he's going to be strikeout. So McKinney with back-to-back strikeouts after the Lopez double to end the top of the 4th. But we now need to find our second substitution because of our second injury in this game. Well, we decided to put Dwight Smith into left field. He is a horrible fielder, range of 4, air of 17 in the outfield, and a +1 arm, but he at least has a decent bat, so hopefully it'll be the right move, and they do not hit it to left field at all. McGann's going to be leading off the Giants in 4th inning. He hit .286. He had 6 home runs. The switch hitter is up to bat, and he's going to be strikeout. Second strikeout for Greg Maddox, and now Bresnahan is up. And he's going to draw a walk, so he's on base for the second time. He also got on base on that error back in the second inning. And now Brown is up. He's 0 for 1, and he needs a 1-10 for a double. It's going to be a 13, so a good 20-die roll for us. That's going to be 2 down, and now Mertz is up. Bresnahan cannot get a lead. Mertz walked his first at bat, and he needs a 1-3 for a home run. This one's going back toward the wall, but it's going to stay inside the park as we have a 20-die roll of an 18. So that will be a fly out, and that's going to end the inning with 2 opportunities for them to get hits, including a home run, but the 20-die roll was in our favor in that inning as we're going to go into the top of the 5th. With the score still 3-0, we got the top of the order coming up the bat of Grissom, Blauser, and Jones. Here's the pitch, and Grissom's going to hit a ground ball to second base. That's going to be 1 down, and now Blauser's up. He's 1 for 2, and he's going to be strikeout. McGinnity with his 4th strikeout, a rare roll of a 6-12, which was a strikeout on the pitcher's card, and now Chipper Jones is up, and Chipper Jones with a strikeout. So for another inning, McGinnity strikes out the last 2 batters to end the inning. And we're going to go into the bottom of the 5th with Gilbert up to bat. He's 0 for 1 as they have the bottom third of their lineup coming up. And it's going to be a 4-10, a pitcher's card roll. 1-12 will be a single. It's going to be a 20-die roll of a 4. So Gilbert's on first, and now Warner, the catcher's up. Gilbert tries to get a lead. He cannot. And it's going to be Warner's going to ground ball to Blauser. He's going to throw it to Belliard, who's then going to throw it over to McGriff for a 6-4-3 double play.
Ouch! Fatality.
But now they have their first injury as Warner is going to be injured on the play. So now there's 2 outs, and they're going to have to figure out who they're going to bring in at the end of the inning. McGinnity, the pitcher, is up to bat. He flew out earlier in the third. He needs a 1-18 on the pitcher's card for a single, and it's going to be a 20-die roll of a 14. So McGinnity gets on base, and now Devlin is up. He's 1 for 2. He needs a 1-15 for a double. The rest is a single. It's going to be a 20-die roll of an 8. And the third base coach puts up the stop sign. So it would have been between a 40 to 50% chance for him to score. They do not want to take a risk, as they now have Dallin coming up with 328. So with 2 runners in scoring position, they have a very good hitter coming up to bat. He is 0 for 2 today. Greg Maddux needs to buckle down here, going against the shortstop, and Dallin is going to rip a single into left field. So holding the runner at third was a good decision, as now Dallin comes in with a 2 RBI single and closes the gap 3-2. And now McGann is up. He's 0 for 2. Dallin cannot get a lead, but he still has a 65% chance to steal. They are going to send him. So 1-13, he's going to be safe. The rest, he'll be out. Here's the throw.
He's out!
And it is a 14. So after a couple of 20-die rolls against us that allow them to score 2 runs, we do get the 20-die roll to end the inning. But now suddenly we got a very different ball game, as it's 3-2 as we go into the 6th inning. McGinnity on the mound as he goes against our cleanup man, Fred McGriff, to lead us off. He had 27 home runs. He's going to hit a ground ball to Gilbert. That's going to be an out. And now David Justice is up, and he's going to draw a walk. So he's on base, and now Smith is up to bat, the left fielder, and he's going to be strikeout. Number 6 for McGinnity. Now Javi Lopez is up, and Javi Lopez needs a 1-12 for a single. The rest is going to be a line out. It's going to be a 17, so it'll be a line out to Plowser, and that's going to end the top of the 6th. Maddox still on the mound going against McCann, the first baseman. He had 286 with 6 home runs, and he's going to be strikeout. Maddox with his 3rd strikeout of the game, and now Bresnahan's up. He's 0 for 1. He did draw a walk. He's going to fly ball to Justice in right field, who has to make a play. He has a range of 3, and he will make a play. So that is going to be out number 2. And now Brown is up. He's 0 for 2, and he's going to rip a 2-out single. So he's on base, and now Mertz is up, the left fielder, with 276. Brown gets a good jump. We are not going to throw it. It's 1-18. Lopez has a +1. Maddox has a +1. So the speed of the Giants is coming through in this one, and they are definitely taking advantage of it. Now Mertz is up. Mertz is 0 for 1 with a walk. He's going to ground ball to Belliard, and Belliard, with a range of 2, who he brought in for defensive reasons, is not able to make the play.
You're killing me, Smalls!
And Brown scores from second, and now the game is tied. So with 2 down, they have a little rally going. Mertz is going to try to steal. He gets a good lead. And with a 1-19, him being safe, we're not even going to risk it and take a chance of throwing it into the outfield, as we have more of a chance for an error than we do of throwing him out. And now Gilbert is up the bat. He's 1 for 2, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Belliard at second, who's going to throw it over to McGriff, and that's going to be the 3rd out. But we suddenly have a brand new ball game, as the Atlanta Braves have 3 runs on 5 hits with 1 error committed. And the 1904 New York Giants have fought back, and they have 3 runs as well on 7 hits and have not committed an error. Atlanta Braves jumped up early in the 1st inning. Since then, McGinnity has been completely dominant, and the New York Giants have been able to get some crucial runs in the last 2 innings. So we're going to the bottom 3rd of the game with the score knotted at 3 apiece, and we're going to have Belliard, the second baseman, leading us off, who came in after an injury, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Dallin at short. That's going to be 1 down, and now Maddox is up. He's 0 for 2. He's going to hit a ground ball to Devlin at third base, and that's going to be an out. And now Grissom, the center fielder, is up, and he's going to be strikeout. Number 7 for McGinnity. 1-2-3 inning. We go into the bottom of the 7th with O'Rourke, the catcher, leading them off. He had 250. He's going to be strikeout. Number 4 for Greg Maddux, and now the pitcher McKinnity's up. He needs a 1 to 12 on the pitcher's card, as it was a 4-3, and then we rolled a 20 die and got a 1. So McKinney, for the second time in this game, gets a hit on the pitcher's card, and now Devlin's up. He's 2 for 3 with a double, and he's going to draw a walk. So runners on first and second. Dallin is up to bat. He had 268. The shortstop is 1 for 2 today. He had that big single that scored 2 in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a strikeout. A huge strikeout by Greg Maddux to get the second out. And now McGann is up. He's 0 for 3, but did hit .323 back in 1904. He had 6 home runs. Looks like he led the team on home runs. He's going to ground ball to Belliard, who needs to make a play. And for the second time, Belliard, who we brought in for defensive reasons, cannot make the play.
Boo, you suck.
But he does keep the ball in the infield. It has rolled a single. So the bases are loaded. And now Roger Bresnahan comes up. He's playing center field. He had 228 with 5 home runs. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. A clutch moment here. Here's the pitch by Maddux, and it is going to be a clutch factor. And because Bresnahan was not a clutch player, it's going to be a pop out the short.
Awesome!
So that is going to end the 7th inning as the Giants leave the bases loaded. And we're going into the top of the 8th with a very great game here. Blauser, the shortstop's leading us off, then Chipper Jones, then Fred McLiff. Blauser at 211. He is 1 for 2 today. He did have a double back in the first, and he's going to pull this one in the left field to Mertz. That's going to be 1 down. And now Chipper Jones is up. He's 0 for 3. He's going to be 0 for 4. He sees a ground ball to Gilbert at second. So that's 2 down. And now Fred McGriff is up with 27 home runs. Can he do something? It's going to be 1 to 6 on the pitcher's card for a home run. And we get a 20 die roll of a 15.
Disappointed!
So that's going to be the 3rd out, as we had a chance there for a home run, but we're not able to get the 20 die roll in our favor. And we're going to go into the bottom of the 8th. This will probably be Greg Maddux's last inning, and he'll be going against Brown, the right fielder, who had 284. Brown's going to pull one into right field to Justice. Justice has to make a play, a range of 3. He does, so that's going to be an out. And now Mertz is up. He's 1 for 2. He's going to hit a ground ball to Chipper Jones. That's going to be an easy play for Chipper Jones. He's going to throw it to McGriff for the second out. And now Gilbert, the second baseman, is up. He had 253. He is 1 for 3 today. He's going to hit a ground ball over to Blauser at short, and that's going to be the 3rd out. We are going into the top of the 9th again in this tournament with the score knotted. And in this one, it is 3-3. McGinney is over his pitch count, and they're leaving him in. He's going against David Justice. David Justice, 1 for 2 today. He also got on base with a walk. He's going to hit a ground ball to Gilbert. That's going to be 1 down. And now Smith is up, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Gilbert. So that's going to be 2 down. And now Javi Lopez is up. He has a double. He's been intentionally walked, and that's going to be a strikeout. A huge strikeout by McGinnity as we go into the bottom of the 9th. And we are going to find a relief pitcher for Maddux who's well over his pitch count. We decided to go with one of our great pitchers, John Smoltz, to come into the game now. Back in 1995, he was only a starter, so he only has 18 pitches on his pitch count. So realistically, he's only going to be good for 1 inning. But he specializes against right-handers, and they have 4 right-handers coming up to bat. So we got O'Rourke, the number 8 hitter, the catcher, who had 250 up to bat first. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball to Blauser. That's going to be 1 down, and now McGinnity's up. He's 2 for 3. They are letting him hit. Surprising there, but he is 2 for 3, and that's going to be a strikeout. So a strikeout by Smoltz, and now Devlin's up. He's 2 for 3 with a double. He walked his last at bat back in the 7th inning, and he's going to walk again. So the good thing is that Smoltz has a -4 arm, so that should help keeping runners closer to first base and not trying to get as many steals. Devlin does try to get a lead. He cannot. So now Dowlin's up. He's 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. He needs a 1 to 14 for a single. It's going to be a 20, so that'll be a line out to short, and Blauser yanks that one out of the air. So a 1-2-3 inning, and again in this tournament For the third time, we are going into extra innings. Belliard, the second baseman, is up to bat. McGinnity, surprisingly, is going to continue pitching in this game. Thought they were going to pull him the last time, but McGinnity with a strikeout. Number 9 for McGinnity. Now we got John Smoltz, the pitcher, coming up. Of course, we are going to go ahead and we're going to pinch hit for him. And we're going to bring in Charlie O'Brien. He had almost 200 at bats back in 1995. He had 227, does really well against right-handers. So he's going to be up to bat going against McGinnity. And here's the pitch and another strikeout. For Joe McGinnity, he has his 10th strikeout in this game. And now Marquise Grissom is up. He's 1 for 3, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Dallin. That's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning. We obviously need to bring in a new pitcher to go into the bottom of the 10th. So we're going to bring in our closer, Mark Wohlers, to come in. He is a great closer. Back in 1995, he had 25 saves, a 2.09 ERA, a 7-3 record, but does really well against right-handed hitters. But they do have a switch hitter, then a righty, and then a lefty coming up. So we're going to have to see how we can get through this inning. This might be dangerous as they got their 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. McGann, who is 1 for 4, is going to lead off the inning. And he is going to lead off with a single. So he's on base. And now Bresnahan's up. He does get a good jump. So he has a 1-16. We got to throw it.
He's out!
And a great throw by Javi Lopez. 1-16, he would have been safe. It's going to be a 20 on the 20 die roll. A huge out by Javi Lopez to throw out McGann, stealing second. Now Bresnahan's up. He's over 3 with a walk. And he's going to draw a walk. So 2 straight batters get on base. Bresnahan is not taking a lead yet. And now Brown's going to hit a ground ball to Jones. He's going to throw it to Belliard over to McGriff for a 5-4-3 double play. So we were able to get out of that one. So for the first time in our tournament, we are going past 10 innings. And we are going into uncharted territory of the 11th inning in this March Madness tournament. McGinnity still on the mound. His pitch count was 125. He's at 150. But these pitchers back in the early history of Major League Baseball definitely had no problem going a long distance. So he's still on the mound. Blauser, the shortstop's up the bat. He had 211. He is 1 for 4 today, and he's going to be strikeout. Number 11 for Joe McGinnity. Chipper Jones up the bat. He is 0 for 4, and he's going to be 0 for 5 as he hits a ground ball to Dallin at short. Hall of Famer having a rough game here. And now Fred McGriff is up. He's 280. He's going to draw a walk. So he was over 3, his second walk of the game. And so he is on first with 2 down. And now David Justice is up. He's 1 for 3. He does have a double. We could use another great hit, but unfortunately McGinnity with his 11th strikeout. So we go into the bottom of the 11th, and now Mertz is up. He is 1 for 3. Good thing for us is they got a bunch of right-handed hitters coming up. So this is going to be up Wohler's wheelhouse. And so he's 1 for 3 with a RBI, and he needs a 1-3 for a home run. It's going to be a 20. So my heart skipped a beat there, but it's going to stay inside the ballpark. So that's going to be 1 down. And now Gilbert's up. He's 1 for 4. He's going to hit a ground ball to Blauser at short. Blauser has to make a play as a range of 2. He does make the play, so that's going to be 2 down, and now O'Rourke is up. He's 0 for 2, and he's going to pop this one up. Back in the infield, Belliard calls everybody out, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning, and we're going to go into the top of the 12th. Smith is going to be leading us off. He had 252. Still got McGinnity on the mound. And it's going to be a fly ball to Bresnahan, who has a range of 4. That's definitely something that we'd like to see, but unfortunately, it's not going to work out in our favor, as that will be a play made by Bresnahan, so that's going to be 1 down. So now Javi Lopez is up. He has a double. He's been intentionally walked. He did have 14 home runs and hit 315. He needs a 1-3 for a double, but it's going to be a 19, so that's going to be a fly out to right. 2 down, and now Belliard's up. He's 0 for 3. He needs a 1-3 for a double, but it's going to be a 13, so another fly out to Brown and right, and that's going to end the inning. Wohlers is over his pitch count. We're going to see if they bring in a pinch hitter, and they finally do. They're going to bring in Frank Bowerman to pinch hit, but McGinnity had gone 12 innings in this game. Unbelievable, these pitchers and what they were capable to do back in the early 1900s in Major League Baseball. But Bowerman's up to bat. He had 232 going against Wallers. Bowerman is a right-handed hitter, so we will leave Wallers in, see what he can do. It's a ground ball to Belliard, who has to make a play. So far, he has not made many plays, even though he has a range of 2. But this time he does, and that's going to be 1 out. And now Devlin's up. He is 2 for 3 with 2 walks. He struck out in the first, and the last 4 times he has gotten on base. Can we get him out? And we will with a strikeout. Waller's first strikeout, and now Dowling, the shortstop, is up. This will be our last hitter, and he needs a 1-12 for a single, and it's going to be a 12, so he is on base, and we got to bring in a new pitcher as they got McGann coming up, the switch hitter. Wallers is over his pitch count. McGann singled off of him the last time, so we're going to go ahead, take a moment, and we're going to bring in a new relief pitcher. Well, we decided to bring in Tom Glavine. The starter is going to come in the bottom of the 12th with 2 down. Realistically, he won't probably go against any more than a couple of hitters here. But he comes in with Dowling on first base. McGann up to bat. Dowling tries to get a lead. He cannot. Here's the pitch, and McGann is going to rip a single. So with 2 down, that's going to put runners on first and second. The winning run is in scoring position. Bresnahan is up to bat. He's 0 for 3 with 2 walks. What can he do? And he's going to draw a walk, as it's going to be a 1-6 on the hitter's card. So the bases are loaded. Glavine specializes against right-handed hitters. Brown is a lefty. So we need to find a new pitcher for Tom Glavine with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 12th with 2 down. So we decided to go with Pedro Bourbon. He only pitched 32 innings, but he did have 2 saves, 3.09 ERA, specializes against left-handed hitters. So what's going to happen in this situation? Brown, 1 for 5 with a run scored, hit 228 with 4 home runs back in 1904. This could be the game, or will it go into the 13th inning? He's going to ground ball to Blauser, who has to make a play, and Blauser dives, and he is able to throw it out, and that's going to be a ground out as we escape the 12th inning with the bases loaded, and we are now going to go into the 13th inning. Bourbon, our pitcher, is up. He did the job we need him to do, so we're going to obviously be bringing in a pinch hitter for him. So we brought in Mordecai, who is a pretty good hitter. He had 280, he had 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, and only 75 at bat. So a great chance for us here. That column 1 looks really, really good. Milligan comes in for the Giants. Billy Milligan went 0-1, did have 2 saves, a 5.4 ERA. So a great opportunity as they finally go to the bullpen. Can we get something started here? And it's going to be a 1-6 for a home run. And it's going to be a 20-die roll of a 1. So a lead-off pinch hit home run for Mike Mordecai. In the top of the 13th, we lead this one 4-3. That was only our 6th hit as McGinnity has shut us down, but now Milligan comes in and we are able to take a quick lead. Here's Marquise Grissom, our leadoff man. He's going to hit a ground ball to Devlin, who has a range of 3 and an air of 16. It goes to the air rating.
Whoopsies!
It is going to be the first air by the Giants, and Grissom is on base, and now Blauser is up to bat. Blauser does really good against left-handed pitchers. So this might work out in our favor, and he is going to rip a single as it's a 6-5 on the pitcher's card. The ball goes to right field, which means Grissom has a 95% chance to go to third. He will. They're just going to hold the runner at first. And so now with runners on the corners, Chipper Jones is up. He is 0 for 5 today with 4 groundouts and a strikeout. The infield is in. Trying not to allow any more runs to score. The Hall of Fame third baseman has a chance to increase the lead. Here's the pitch. He's going to hit a ground ball to Devlin. We have a chance to send Grissom home. A 1-15, he'll be safe. The rest of he's going to be an out. We're sending him, no doubt about it. And so here's the play at home.
He's safe.
And it'll be a 5, so that is going to be a run scored and another hit for us. So we now lead by 2 as it's 5-3, and now Fred McGriff is up. He's 0 for 3 with an RBI. He's going to lift one into left field to Mertz. So that will be the first out, as we still have 2 runners on first and second, and now David Justice is up. Davis Justice needs a 1-11 for a single. Blauser has a chance to score. Mertz has a +1 arm. 1-14 chance to be safe. We're sending him. We will send all the trailing runs, hoping that maybe they'll cut it off and try to get one of him. And there's going to be no cutoff to play at home, and it's going to be a 15, which means it's going to be a play at the plate.
He's safe.
And he's going to be safe. Blauser scores on a play at the plate because O'Rourke's ability to block the plate is poor, so it becomes like a 1-14 or something like that. I don't remember the actual numbers, but regardless, it was a 20-die roll of an 11, so that is going to be our 3rd run as Milligan, the pitcher for the Giants, has thrown this game wide open. We now have runners on second and third with only 1 out, and Smith is up, the left fielder. And he's going to line ball to Gilbert. That's going to be 2 down, and now Javi Lopez is up. And they're going to intentionally walk him. They're going to want to go against Rafael Billiard, which is not a bad decision. And Billiard is 0 for 4, but he needs a 1-2 for a single. It's going to be a 15, so that's going to end the inning. But in the 13th inning, we got 3 runs. Started off with a home run by Mike Mordecai, and then the floodgates just opened, but we left 3 guys stranded on base in the top of the 13th, but we did score 3 runs. So let's go ahead. Let's find a relief pitcher, hopefully, who can close this one out. So we are going to bring in Brad Kluntz. He went 8-1 with 4 saves at a 3.65 ERA, does well against right-handed hitters. And as mentioned, the Giants have a ton of right-handed hitters, only have 1 switch hitter and 1 left-handed hitter in the entire lineup. Mertz, the left fielder, the number 6 hitter, is going to be leading them off. He's 1 for 4 today, and he needs a 1-9 for a single. The rest is a line out. He rolls a 3, so that's going to be a single. And now Gilbert is up, and they are going to bring in Dan Brothers, the Hall of Famer. Only had 5 at-bats, didn't get a hit, so I'm not sure why they would bring in a guy who did not have any hits, but they're banking on the fact that he's a left-handed hitter, and Kluntz against lefties is terrible, so they're hoping for a pitcher's card roll. Here's the pitch, and it will be on the pitcher's card. It's going to be 1-12 for a single, but luckily it's a 16 on the 20-die roll. So that's going to be a line out to Billiard. That's going to be 1 down. And now O'Rourke is up. The catcher hit 250. And they're going to bring in a new pinch hitter, Jack Dunn. So he's going to come up the bat. He hit 309, 19 RBIs. Does really well, it looks like, against right-handers. And Kluntz with a strikeout. As we get a 4-5 roll, taking it to the pitcher's card. So that's going to be 2 down. And now Milligan is up. They got to bring in somebody. And John McGraw, the manager, is going to grab a bat. McGraw was great at the plate of getting on base, able to draw a lot of walks. And as you can tell by his card, he has a lot of walks and a lot of hits. But McGraw is putting the game on his shoulders to keep it alive for the Giants. Kluntz on the mound. McGraw's a left-handed hitter, so not looking good for us. And McGraw rips a single on a 4-8 on the pitcher's card. So that is going to put runners on first and second. Now the tying run comes up the bat, Devlin. We are going to stay with Kluntz because now he's going to go against a right-handed hitter, which is definitely in his wheelhouse. Bottom of the 13th, 2 down, tying run up to bat. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be ended on a strikeout for the 3rd out. And that's Kluntz's 2nd strikeout, and that's going to end this epic game that goes 13 innings. But the 1995 Atlanta Braves, the number 14 seed, upsets the 1904 New York That game was unbelievable. A 13-inning phenomenal game that the Atlanta Braves ended up winning 6-3. The game really came down to us getting a quick lead in the first inning as we got 3 runs on 4 hits. Jumped up early, but Joe McGinnity of the New York Giants ended up only allowing 1 more hit over the next 11 innings. He went 12 innings, only allowed 5 hits. He struck out, I think, 12 batters. The New York Giants fought back to tie this one up. It went into extra innings with a score tied 3 apiece. Once we got into the 13th inning, the Giants brought in a relief pitcher, and once we got to their bullpen, everything fell apart for the Giants as Mike Mordecai came in, led off the top of the 13th with a home run. We got a bunch of more hits, ended up scoring at several plays at home plate. So we got 3 runs in the top of the 13th and ended up winning this one 6-3. It was one of the games I was most looking forward to seeing. And the 1904 New York Giants, who never actually made it to a World Series in our World Series tournament, are eliminated. The Atlanta Braves are advancing. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this tournament. This was a great game. Until next time, this is Coach DK. Have a good one. Bye.